Have you ever wondered whether a simple thought can change the course of reality? Beyond the daily rush, quantum physics paints a malleable universe in which particles shift when they are observed. Intention slips in here, a subtle impulse of consciousness able to bend probabilities. Our story begins in an imaginary laboratory, where a researcher switches on a faint laser and invites us to peer beyond classical evidence into a shimmering field of possibilities. Inside that lab, the celebrated double-slit experiment reveals that light shows itself as wave or particle only after the observer's choice of measurement. The same logic suggests that, at microscopic scales, human attention slightly perturbs the quantum field. If the mind can affect the path of a photon, could it also influence the events of an ordinary day? Picture reality as a luminous screen of branching options, and your thought, like an invisible cursor, selects the version that becomes concrete. Psychologists at the Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research Program spent decades testing the influence of thought on random number generators. Their databases show small yet statistically significant deviations whenever volunteers visualized a preferred outcome. Heart-brain coherence studies from the Weizmann Institute echo the finding, linking collective focus with measurable changes in local magnetic fields. For some researchers, this implies intention can nudge matter. To others, the deviations are experimental noise. Whatever verdict science eventually reaches, disciplined practice remains the factor that turns hazy wishing into focused creative power. When applied consciously, intention becomes a precision tool for shaping experience. Elite athletes rehearse victory runs before hearing the starting gun. Surgeons mentally trace delicate incisions, and meditators repeat mantras to calm the mind and accelerate healing. Brain imaging shows increased coherence between cortical regions during guided imagery, evidence that neurons tune themselves to the chosen goal. In corporate settings, brief intention rounds at the beginning of meetings align teams towards shared objectives and reduce decision fatigue, proving that a few directed seconds can sharpen many hours of work. Still, the causal link remains controversial. Many physicists warn that quantum effects cannot grow to macroscopic scale without being washed out by decoherence. Replication studies often yield inconsistent results once protocols tighten. Spiritual interpretations, meanwhile, are sometimes hijacked by marketing narratives that promise instant manifestation with no effort or responsibility. Discernment is therefore essential. Intention does not replace action. It guides and illuminates it. The practical balance emerges when clear intention meets disciplined effort. Combining vivid mental imagery with concrete steps creates a resonance chamber between thought and reality, amplified by neuroplasticity and reinforced by feedback from daily experience. Success is less about forcing the universe and more about cultivating inner coherence that ripples outward. Practically, that means defining goals in sensory-rich detail, visualizing the feeling of completion, acting consistently, and staying flexible as circumstances evolve. The horizon of research is widening. Artificial intelligence tools may soon sift gigantic datasets in search of subtle patterns connecting collective mental states and quantum events. Satellites already track fluctuations in the Schumann resonance, and some scientists ask whether emotionally synchronized populations can influence Earth's electromagnetic field. Whether forthcoming evidence confirms or refutes a deep link, the very question invites introspection. What seeds of reality do we plant with every thought, and how responsibly do we nurture the garden that grows? Peace in your heart and clarity in your mind.